Watches, Swiss exports of watches, we saw some growth, about 7.6%. Is that correct? Yeah, 7.6% growth, $30 billion. Volumes rising as well. However, growth slowed from the first half of the year to the second half. We have to wonder why. I'm going to get some answers in just a moment. JD.com, they've also opened a fashion warehouse in Paris. The import-export shopping platform owned by China's JD has announced the opening of its first independently run direct procurement warehouse for fashion items. Also in New York, the city's so nice, they've named it twice. Kering has acquired some prime Fifth Avenue property to the tune of about $963 million for that property. We'll get to that why. And then Dior opening its first luxury spa in the Middle East. What took them so long? Mayowa Apaflo joins us. She is Senior Associate at Financial Derivatives Company Limited. Mayowa, Happy New Year to you. Good morning.
Happy New Year.
Good to see you. Let's start with the Swiss exports of Swiss watches. What about what are the factors that contributed to those numbers that we saw for the Swiss?
Okay, so we saw an increase in prices by the Swiss watchmakers, right? And we also saw a very large jump. We saw a jump in the shipment of the cheaper quartz watches. And so we also saw a strategic pricing by the Swiss makers, and the aim was really to balance revenue growth amidst varying demand. We saw that the varying demand that we saw the luxurious end of the market increasing value growth, and also we saw that the cheaper quartz watches increased the volume growth. And so this was just to balance. It was really the Swiss makers adopting a strategic move to balance revenue amidst the varying demands that they were having.
Geopolitical concerns, economic concerns keep cropping up whenever all these companies talk about exports and so on and so forth. How did that factor in here for them when you look at looking at export destinations now and so on and so forth? How did that affect consumer spending on the watches?
Look at it. It affected it affected the spending because it affected consumer confidence across all levels. When everybody can see the news, we see what's happening, and then there's this cautiousness, the need to reduce spending, not spend so much on non-discretionary items, for instance, and also the increased costs in even the needs. There was more of the portion of funds going to that. But as well, we also saw that there's this angle of the strong Swiss franc that also caused an increase in production costs for the Swiss makers. And then when you also consider what a stronger currency means, a stronger currency means that your commodities, your exports will be more expensive in foreign markets. And so this will most likely reduce demand, international demand for the Swiss makers.
What about I guess if we talk about the slowdown from half year one to half year 2023, if we half year one to half year two, what's the outlook for the watches then?
It's cautious, right? It's cautious for the suppliers, everyone. It's really a cautious outlook. We're seeing that there's a cautious review for forecast, right? And it's only all still because of, like you mentioned, the geopolitical tensions and also the pressure from the stronger Swiss franc. And so we're seeing a review, cautious forecasting from the Swiss makers. And this is only most likely going to be, we may most likely see them adopt an adjustment, a strategic adjustment. We see a diversion to more focus on resilience and adaptability in response to the current challenges that they face.
Let's get to JD.com. The strategy of setting up shop in Paris sounds pretty ambitious. I guess what's the big idea, for them?
Well, it's like they're moving into the heart of the market, fashion forward Europe. So having a warehouse in Europe, for instance, creates an opening for Chinese consumers to access top brands from France, from Italy, from Spain, different parts of the world at a faster, a much quicker speed, right? And so the focus is mainly on cheaper prices, speed, and also ensuring authenticity through their smart. They have a check service. JD has an authentic check service thing where they ensure that the products that are being sent to the Chinese consumers are authentic. So that's really the idea behind putting it. It's really a fantastic move, in my opinion.
And then there's a whole local inventory angle to this, yeah, for JD.com?
Yes, right. So when you're connecting the European brands and the consumer market. Yeah. It's about reducing, like I said, reducing costs, increasing speed. And so they even mentioned, I think their GM on luxury and fashion had said that it was a strategic move to lower the fulfillment cost for European brands, and also ensure that the Chinese consumers have competitive pricing and also reliable service.
Karen, I really got to get your thoughts on this. Almost $1 billion they've dropped on this prime real estate in New York, Fifth Avenue. What's the strategy behind that?
Well, if you know, shopping a lot of times has most of just selling a product. It's about the experience, right? And so securing this prime location in Fifth Avenue is moving into New York City's fashion battleground, right? So the plan is to create a fashion, a flagship safe haven for, flagship haven rather, for their top brands. We're talking Gucci, Saint Laurent. That's what they're trying to do. And so they're hoping that it would be a magnet for luxury fashion users around the world. So it's mainly a combination. We're looking at, it was all about a combination of luxury, looking at luxury, great prices, luxury, prime location, and history all in one.
And it's not just New York, right? They're doing this in other locations. So what's the overall strategy here for Kering?
The overall strategy still remains. Imagine, let's picture yourself shopping in a historical building in Paris,
yes,
and the next one in without the dollar problem, and then next you're in the buzz of New York, of Fifth Avenue. Yeah. It's all about, again, luxury, historical places, prime location. So they're trying to weave the fabric. They're weaving their brands into the fabric of every city that they are in. So it's like it's a really strategic move for them, getting prime locations as iconic as the brands that they own.
Hey, it doesn't get any more iconic than Fifth Avenue in New York City. Dior, I'm surprised at this. I thought the spa in the Middle East, I actually thought they already had one there. Can you talk about that and that move for Dior?
Dubai is luxury.
Yeah, is it not?
Luxury, our money, right? So it's again a very fantastic move. It's going to be like a calming spot. Picture, you have the soft, creamy colors, beige, and all of that. You have patterns and blankets but with the iconic toile de jour patterns and all of that. Again, fashion is about the experience, right? And so it's not just a spa treatment. It's giving the classic Dior vibe, Dior experience from top to bottom for their consumers.
Well, and what can guests expect? Anything out of the ordinary?
Yes.
Yeah?
Apart from the fact that you know that you're going to be getting top-notch service. They also have something called the Dior Stone Therapy. It's like a mix of semi-precious stones.
Are you serious?
Microabrasion and LED light therapy.
Wow. Giving
that classic Dior touch to your spa treatment. So it's going to be, it will be out of the ordinary, creme de la creme treatment to expect to see.
Sounds really good. You're making me want to travel now. Exchange rates. Mayowa Apaflo, senior associate with Financial Derivatives Company. Thank you so much for talking to us about the latest news in fashion business. We appreciate it.